Okay, cool. All right. First of all, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm having a really hard time. John comes to me and tells me all this awesome stuff, and I have no idea where he's getting his information from on the game. So, if you guys find an interesting link or something cool, would you please start putting it in the Star Citizen forums so that way everybody can see what you guys are seeing, because everything I hear and see is freaking phenomenal. So, let's start getting like a collection of links and stuff like that if you guys don't care. Second of all, I understand this meeting's taking place give or take a year before the game comes out, so things may change from now until then. So this is all just kind of like conjecture at this point on what we want to do. Basically what the meeting is about tonight is how is Omega Force going to quote-unquote survive and thrive in Star Citizen. The way I see it, me and John have talked it, not at length, but a little bit about it here and there. There's a couple different routes that we can take on this subject, and this is something that I want everybody that wants to play, I want you guys to all be part of that decision-making process, because, you know, this game is going to be probably the most cooperatively, it's going to require the most cooperation, so to speak, than any other game that we've ever played before. Everybody's going to have to work together as a team to accomplish our goals. If this... God, I don't know why my freaking system's lagging. Give me a second here. Okay. If you guys look on the link I just put into the screen here, if you click on the Star Citizen thing at the bottom of the screen, you can see it. Some of you guys may have seen this one before. I just found it the other day, and I was just like, holy shit, this is awesome. Basically, it's an economic breakdown of how the game system is supposed to work. So this is what got me thinking about having this little meeting with you guys to figure out what do we want to do. If you guys look at the very first screen there, and I can wait till everybody gets it up, it's the economy and employment screen. Or the first, not on the screen, the first picture on the forum thread, excuse me. I'm a little tired too, so bear with me on that. I'm assuming everybody's got that picture up. Got it. Okay. As you guys can see, there's a lot of different ways to, you know, expand Omega Force's influence throughout the galaxy on this game. So my question is, do you guys want to focus on combat, or do you guys want to focus on crafting? Crafting, for example, I was looking at this. I don't know how realistic it's going to be in the game, but I was thinking, you know, when you're looking at the crafting, you know, we can make, you know, gas, you know, fuel, and we could, you know, actually build like our empire based off of, you know, making fuel, so to speak. You know, there's no ship in the game that's going to go without the product that we produce. So, you know, these are things I want you guys to think about. You know, should we do like an economic thing, or John, why don't you tell them your good idea?
On the off chance that I don't remember my good idea.
Private military contractor.
Oh, okay.
Can't we do both?
Well, that's the thing. We can. There's no limiting to what you can do in Star Citizen. I mean, there's not like the guild doesn't have to choose. It's, you know, what it's gonna do, and then that's all it does. You can do. You can end up doing everything, you know, if you've got the resources to do so. But something I thought would be fun, you know, maybe, you know, a lot of us, you know, most of us like, you know, combat stuff. We could focus on, you know, maybe doing, you know, being a private military group and, you know, providing security escorts for people and whatnot, because, you know, that could be a lot of fun. But you know, that's just a suggestion. There's a whole bunch of stuff, but pretty much how we're at now, you know, we're not the biggest. I mean, we're bigger than a lot of other, you know, small groups of friends clans out there, but we're not the biggest thing. So we're gonna have to start rather small and, you know, maybe focus on one thing at a time. Not saying that, you know, for example, if we choose mining, that's all you're gonna be allowed to do. You have to mine. You know, there's gonna be jobs for everyone. I'm never going to say you can't do something else if you feel like doing something else for a time. But as a group, we're gonna have to focus small, and then get bigger, and then maybe eventually when we have more people, we can start expanding and doing a bunch of different things at the same time. It all depends. But I think that maybe focusing on maybe one or two sub aspects of the organization from the very beginning might prove more profitable in the end, rather than spreading ourselves too thin amongst a bunch of activities.
Yeah, I mean, I think John just hit the head on the nail right there, because what are you fucking laughing at? Whatever, just sit there. Sorry, Cool Beans being a smart ass for some reason. Yeah, I don't know why, but she is. I think it'd be decent for us to start out with something small, and focus hard, even just for like a week or two. Get something up and running, like private military contractors or something like that. Get our name out there, and then we could branch out and start doing, start following like your own personal pursuits or whatever. I know the private military contract thing. It says on this page that I gave to you guys. If you look down and you start reading all this different stuff, especially about the population, each planet in the game is going to have a set amount of population per planet. So therefore, it's going to have a set amount of factories, per se, that you can lay down on the planet itself. So you could have, like, say, 20 factories pumping out fuel, for example, on the planet. Well, if you don't, if you're not selling your product, you're going to have to be forced to lay people off from those factories. That, in turn, makes the population unhappy, which also, in turn, increases piracy. So that's where the private military contract idea comes in, is we can contact another group that says, that's really heavy into it, and they're having a lot of piracy problems. We can say, hey, for X amount of credits, we'll come in and clear out the piracy problem for you guys. So that's kind of like where the idea was coming from. As far as the piracy is concerned, that being said, it's not going to be strictly players. If a player, the way the game system's going to work, the way I understand it, and John, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm online and I log off, an NPC is going to take my place. So if I'm pirating an area and I log off, an NPC is going to move in and take my position. So it's not always going to be just us fighting players. There's going to be a lot of NPC pirates and stuff like that we're going to have to annihilate as well. So, again, these are just some ideas I want to throw out to you guys. I mean, you don't have to answer tonight, but, if you guys have any other ideas on how to start out, how to make, Omega Force a big name on the server, then go for it. Throw out any ideas you got on it.
I'm late.
You're fine.
So the PMC idea I think is really cool in general. It's pretty well thought through, and in general I like the idea of the PMCs. I love Metal Gear Solid. Something I'm thinking in the back of my mind is we definitely want to grow as an outfit once the game goes live. And so what we want to look into as well is what do we predict is going to be a growth industry. So that's just food for thought.
Yeah, I have to agree there also.
Well, the only reason I mentioned gas and fuel, is because when we look at the real world, the whole world runs on oil. Same thing going to be in Star Citizen. There's no ship out there. I don't care how big or bad it is. It's not going to go without fuel. So that's why I was thinking, we could do like an economic thing. I know that we've got some people that, they aren't as into the combat aspect as the majority of us are, i.e. Cool Beans. She's not really into that, but she is an absolute goddess at the economic shit. You guys, no, I'm not kidding. You sell yourself short. You guys should have seen you guys should have seen what she did on Star Wars Galaxies, man. She did some awesome shit with the economy and all that stuff. I mean, she's really good at organizing supplies and getting things running. I don't know if you guys...
She's also very wealthy on freaking Panthera from the amount of shit she does with the eco on that shit. Would never want to fuck with her on that.
Well, for those of you that, remember John's original DayZ server, I mean, you guys remember she's the one that built and designed and organized that entire barracks that we have with every single weapon, food item, medical supply, everything. She's good at doing that shit, but she's not. I'm not going to say she's not good at the combat, but that's not what she thrives on. I know people like Diabix. Diabix and Cool Beans have worked very, very well in the past together. I wouldn't say that Diabix is not geared toward combat, because she is, but she might find an interest in maybe helping Cool Beans, for example, start setting up some kind of economic thing, and they both work on it together, to help fuel what Omega Force does. But like I said, I don't know what's the best route for us to get in here and go, because I'm afraid if we all get in there and say, I want to go bounty hunt, and John wants to go run fuel, and Ghost Skull wants to go work on the market, we're all going to be pulled in like 1,000 different directions, and we're not going to get anywhere. We're just going to start spinning wheels. And I'm just thinking, like I said, for the first week or two of the game, we all focus on one thing, get some kind of currency system rolling, and then we're all going to be golden to go off and do our bounty hunting or whatever we want to do.
I kind of agree with let's say we mix the fuel production and the PMC idea. Like, some of us are on the production line, and then others will be guarding the trade ships and all that.
So we basically be a armed coalition or a militia, pretty much. People hire us
our own armed militia.
People would hire
protecting
us
our assets
to
for a little
protect
bit.
their assets as well as ours. So pretty much.
Yeah.
Basically, we'd be doing like what the convoy system did during World War One, World War Two. Pretty much, we'd be the destroyers and fighter classes, while everyone else is carrying around the great big frigates and stuff. So.
Yeah, it's it all depends. How many people are on that day, or how many people we have in total. Eventually, if we expand into some massive empire, which would be awesome, and we have, hundreds of players in Omega Force, it'd be possible to have tons and tons of different branches of the organization doing different things, and we could be entirely self-sustaining. It's entirely possible. But from the beginning, something like that, not really practical for us at the moment.
Well, in the beginning, if you guys wanted to consider, we could be like a mining coalition at first, pretty much gathering up minerals to do like half of us would pretty much be the miners, the other half would be pretty much the builders, and builders would basically translate between building and selling shit, depending on how much resources we have in that day and our shit.
Well, I mean, these are all really good ideas, and this is what I wanted you guys to start thinking about. And start posting your ideas in the Star Citizen forum on the website. If you go to bed tonight and you just sit up at 3 a.m. and, oh my God, this is an awesome idea, post it on there, so that way the rest of us know what you're thinking. Because we, like I said, this game, guys, is going to be, if it works out the way it is, and my God, with freaking $76 million funding right now, it better be. But this game is supposed to be like, freaking legendary opportunity, and it's really cutting edge and groundbreaking in the game industry as a whole. So this pretty much the sky's the limit. If you can think it, we could probably do it. I mean, Johnny Rock posted in the chat box, I don't know if you guys have been watching that on TS here, but he said, hell, open a casino. Nobody ever went broke doing that shit. It's a good idea.
It is a good idea. And I saw that there was an entertainment option in the second image.
That is true.
Because a lot of this, the majority of this is going to be player run. It's just like real life. People pay for things that they want, for luxuries. If you've got an idea, it may not be a core game mechanic, but that's the thing that's great about Star Citizen. It doesn't have to be. People create great ideas and then sell those ideas in Star Citizen, and you can make a business off of it. There's no straight road. You could do it's going to run like real life. So there's plenty of opportunity for making good ideas. There may not be, casinos day one in the game, but that doesn't mean that you could start one up and create your own, gambling system somehow and figure it out.
Gamble on space races.
That could work too.
Yeah, you could organize, make the whole organization based on running so people can bet on races and whatnot. Whatever.
Well, going back years. I mean, this is going back years, especially for me playing Ultima Online. People ran lotteries on that game in their own personal house. You would go and buy a bag, and you didn't know what was in the bag, but there was a promise of X amount of gold or certain kind of item in that bag, whatever, and you have to pay up 10,000 gold in advance, to buy the bag and take your chance on the lottery. That was a very, very big thing. A lot of people played that shit, So that's always something that you could do. From what I understand, there's not going to be like, epic loot items in this game, and there's not going to be an actual loot table and stuff like that to try to farm an item from. But like say somebody like say Diabix, she makes like an awesome freaking gun for a ship. She could start up a lottery, put 5 bags on a vendor, and say, hey, one of these bags has something good. Pay up 20 grand to find out. You could do something like that.
Yeah.
That could work too. Ooh, almost.
The Synthahol King. But yeah, I mean, again, these, really the sky's the limit, guys. On this game, it's really going to be an epic adventure, I think, for everybody involved. So, if you guys have some really good ideas about it, by all means, feel free at any time to, put them forth and let us know about it. At any time, put them on the forums there, man, or if you want to talk to somebody about it, talk to me or John or anybody, and get with us, and we'll talk about your idea and see what you think, because I really, really think, this game, beyond any other MMO I've ever been exposed to, and believe me, I've been around MMO since 1997. Played a UO, the original MMO, and I've been around forever. This game's definitely got so much more potential. So, you can do everything from bounty hunting to freaking opening up your own cruise line service. You can do it all. So, really, sky's the limit on this shit. John, how many characters are you going to be allowed to have?
Each game package that you own is a character. That's how they're doing it. So, however many game packages you have that you've bought from the store, that's how many characters you have.
So basically, one per account.
No. Well, no. No, you have your account, your login, username, and whatnot, but your game package. So, for example, you buy an Aurora pack, or like a Mustang pack, or whatever. However many of those you have is a character.
So, like, each ship is...
So you can have as many game packages as you want on your account. It's just you own the game that many times. And
well, the reason I was asking that is because it might be beneficial, for those that really want to get into this hardcore, like myself. It might be beneficial to get yourself in a couple of extra characters, because you can actually, from what I've read, John, you might know more about this, but from what I've read, you can have 2 characters on at the exact same time, if not more. And you could have one guy say he's gunning on a starship in a totally different system, and you got another guy on the same time that's working a factory on this planet. So, it might be beneficial for some of you guys to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's still very, they're working on exactly how it's going to work, but basically, every game package that you own, I'm not talking standalone ships, game packages that you get in the store right now, it has to say game package on it. Every game package you own is a character, and you can play as any of your characters. While you're not playing as a character, you can use your character as an AI, who you can have do different things. Doesn't mean it's like you won't be able to treat them like a slave, like an AI that you have forever. You'll have to pay them wages that go into their own accounts and whatnot. So you'll have to treat them like you would any other AI for hire in the game. You won't just say you have 5 game packages, you have 5 characters. That doesn't mean that you play as one, you have 4 slaves that you don't have to pay or anything, or they're just with you all the time. You'll still have to treat them like people in the game, so you won't be able to take advantage of that. But I guess it wouldn't really matter. It's all your money anyway. You're paying your other characters. You can just transfer the money back and forth, so that's not really that big of a deal. But that's pretty much how it's gonna work.
The way you're saying it, that almost sounds like 4 extra guys. That's 4 gunners for any big ship, really.
Yeah, Yeah, you can totally use your other game packages to have AI crew members on a bigger ship that you have, if you don't have a bunch of friends to, fill those positions for you. And you also don't have to have more game packages to get other AI. You can hire random AI in the game that you don't own per se, and you can get them as well. You don't have to have multiple game packages to get AI crew. You can have a bunch of AI crew just by, hiring AI in the game.
Okay, just a couple more things I wanted to mention. Then, like I said, if you guys have any ideas or comments or whatever, please feel free. But I read just yesterday that they were talking about player permadeath in the game. Quit. Don't you touch that. Sorry, my daughter. She seems to think that the mouse on my desk is hers. Shut up, Lone Wolf. As a matter of fact, this is going directly to you, Lone Wolf, what I'm about to say. I was reading on the website, they were talking about permadeath and, what constitutes death in the game. Pretty simple. If it would happen to you in real life, it's going to be death on this game. A headshot, your ship blows up before you eject, blah, blah, blah. There's going to be very, very, very strict penalties for those who choose to blow up defenseless escape pods or ejection modules in space. Hefty bounties are going to be put on you from the military. Also, even if you go into lawless space, your bounty could be so big that, they might just decide to kill you on sight because they're going to get so much money for killing you. That being said, I don't know how this is going to work in the system where, let's say, I'm flying around in a two-seater Hornet and Lone Wolf is my gunner and he's been killing people, after he destroys their ship. He's been blowing up their escape pods. Does that make me a target as well? So, if you guys start to do that kind of stuff, and if there's going to be backlash against your group, i.e. a mega force, y'all better start thinking twice about it, because I'm not going to be happy if I'm flying around with a known criminal in my ship and all of a sudden we get freaking nuked.
J-Trail, it is not a known criminal, it is the known criminal.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think Diabix or Mige, for example, I don't think they're going to be happy if Cool Beans is out freaking cutting people's throats after she shoots them up in space, and all of a sudden somebody comes by and nukes Mig's shit because he's harboring a known fugitive.
The
I don't know.
Could Cool Beans ever do something like that?
You have no idea.
Yes, she can.
I gave
Oh, yeah.
Jenny once for a helicopter ride, and she killed the entire server.
Don't doubt it. She can.
Yeah, guys. I mean, this game, it's a game. It's all about having fun, but we're gonna be, we're gonna not to an extreme extent, but we're gonna be running this, like a business or whatnot. We're gonna be role playing this game and really, taking it seriously. We're not out there to just grief and whatnot, and
We're going to be
and just
pretty
mess
much-
around. That's not how Star Citizen, the whole functionality of the game is gonna work. Griefers are gonna be severely punished. It's not a game to just go in, piss people off, have a good time, and fuck everybody else. It's not. You won't get anywhere, and Omega Force would fall apart. So we're not gonna be doing things like that. That being said, being a criminal group is not out of the option. I don't think that most of you guys would be interested in that. I mean, anyone here who would like to see Omega Force as a group be more towards the lawless side of things? Because I'm not against it. I just figured that, for the most part, most of us probably wouldn't be interested in, being a major crime syndicate or anything. But if you guys want to, do that, throw your ideas out now. Because we're not totally against, if you all want to be, run a criminal organization in the game, we can do that. Just, we all got to be on the same page. That's the thing.
Yeah, I'm not against that idea. Go ahead, Bread Row.
My friend gave me an idea for Star Citizens to being outlaws. He suggested that we be like the mob. We have a group of people that repeatedly attack them, and then they hire us to protect them, and then we just stop attacking them.
I like that idea. Worked perfectly for the PMC group.
Yes, that would. You'd pretty much be out of time in his game.
That could work.
But this game is really going to run like real life. People don't do things in real life unless there's an opportunity for financial gain. It's just going to be just like that impressive.
Pay me money, I go kill someone.
So we pretty much beat the mercs.
Shush.
That was just my friend's suggestion. I don't care what we do.
Yeah, I'm not against the idea of doing like a criminal organization myself. I don't care. It's just, I mean, we all need to be on the same page. I mean, if we decide to do criminal activities, then I would expect, if Lone Wolf's sitting in my gunner's seat, I would expect to be freaking nuked at any time, just because I know what Lone Wolf does. But if we're trying to play like, I wouldn't say like the good guys, but if we're at least trying to stay neutral in the eyes of the military, so to speak, and the police departments, if we're trying to stay neutral and make a legitimate living, yeah, I'm going to get pissed off if I get freaking nuked for no reason. So, and I think anybody else would too. I don't think anybody else wants to lose their ship or have to pay extra insurance on it because somebody in the group decides they want to be a prick.
Yeah, even in the criminal world, there's a code. In organized crime, people just don't go out and start killing off, people from other crime organization or whatever at no reason, or just killing. That's not going to get them anything. That's going to bring heat on them.
There's always got to be money involved.
You do things for a reason.
Yeah,
There's a code amongst criminals. There's a code amongst people who live inside the law. There's a code. You don't do certain things because it's not going to gain you anything. It's not going to gain your people anything. It's probably going to get you killed.
Yeah, even gangs in prison, it's like another prisoner cannot commit murder on another prisoner without permission from the gang leader. I mean, there, like John said, exactly. There is a code even in the criminal empire. So, yeah, it's like, you got to, you can't just take matters into your own hands, so to speak.
Yeah, well,
Everyone answers to the boss.
Because, yeah, I definitely want to do, piracy and smuggling, but that's like my own thing that I want to do, and I don't want to jeopardize the group. So I totally agree. And the private military thing sounds great, but to me, that's gonna need build up first. So that should be a late.
That's fucking echo.
Goal, because we're gonna need. Fucking idiot. Sorry, he's dumb. It's gonna be a later Omega Force goal because you're not gonna like start out with 1,000,000 guns and tons of ammo. A lot of us can't afford to buy the big ships at first, so we're all the starter ships. So we need to start with some passive income, like the mining and fuel creation or whatever. I don't know the options they have, but it needs to be passive at first until we can gain a surplus of resources as a group to then fund the supplies that you'll need to be a private military. Because for private military, we're going to need ships, we're going to need guns, we're going to need medical supplies and stuff like that, and that's not going to be stuff that we're going to have right off the bat. So
Yeah, definitely. To form any kind of an organization, whether it's a private military or a smuggling operation, whatever, you need two things. You need supply and you need reputation. Nobody's going to hire us if we don't have a good reputation. So, like if we decide to go PMC, for example, it's like, yeah, this planet might be really, really weak, and we could just, wipe the floor with them. But at the same time, they just paid us 1,000,000 credits to guard their territory for a week. So, yeah, if we freaking, if we nix that contract with this group or whatever to protect their territory, we lose freaking, we lose face as far as the online community is concerned.
And something also that I see is very important is we are a decently sized group, and we'll probably grow as we get more members from the game. But I think it is very important that before, like in the first week or two of the game, we need to delegate powers, because there's going to be those people that have their strength in military. There's going to be those people that have their strength in, breaking the law. But like we can't just have people, like we can't have one of our soldiers going off and making a 100 credit deal with another company that we might not need to make deals. So like we definitely need to delegate like legal, economic, and like military groups. You know,
Well, that was going to be my next topic, as a matter of fact, was
perfect segue.
yeah, exactly. And I hope you were talking to yourself about people that are good at criminal shit.
Yeah.
But okay, good. But yeah, that was the last topic that I wanted to talk about was how do we want to organize ourselves on Star Citizen itself? Like, do you guys want to run it as a council? Do you guys want to run it as, like say a company organization or as a militaristic organization? I mean, how do you
company idea?
the company idea?
Yeah, it has to
I
be a
like the
business.
idea of the council. Like,
Here, one second. I wanna post something up real quick. They have a basic structured layout for building the organization. Right now, our organization is labeled as a PMC, but it can change at any time, so that doesn't matter. So let me just pull this up. They have presets of different ways of running your group. That structure in a different way automatically. Obviously, it can all be changed later on, but it gives it a more structured feel from the start. So, one moment here, almost got it.
Well, I wasn't necessarily thinking about how the rest of how everybody else sees it. I was thinking about like the internal structure.
So that's what I'm talking about.
So you can actually have that set up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
And it's external as well, but obviously a lot of it's got to be done, writing your own policies and whatnot. But let me gotta find this.
Yeah, I've always personally preferred a militaristic / democratic system, and I'll explain what that is real quick. Militaristic being, you've got your commanding officer, your executive officer, and then you have your departments underneath those guys. Officers, like you might have your economic officer, you might have your diplomatic officer, something like that. And where the democracy part comes in is the leader can be voted out by the officers at any time, or we can even set term limits for a leader, something like that. But I've always preferred a system like that, so that way, it's like, say, economics isn't doing their job. I know exactly who to go to and say, hey, look, what's the problem here? What's going on? I can have a private meeting with that person to figure out what the issue is. So I've always preferred that. Company organizations are not that much different than that. Basically the same system. If you really look at it, there's a CEO, which would have been like, the CEO of a military. Then you got your company executives, which are like the officers, so to speak, something like that. So.
All right, so there's 5 preset, pretty much ideas that Star Citizen has here for your organization on what you could what you could label yourself as, and suggestions for how to run it. There are corporations. Description is a for-profit business entity. A corporation is a great choice for everything from shipping products or to organizing a hostile takeover of another company. There are then private military companies for organizations that like a taste of combat. Focuses for PMC include escorting cargo runs, hunting for pirates, or helping the actual government, take on the Vandul, the bad aliens. There's the faith, organizations that have come together for a single cause under a single banner. Could be a religious group or anyone. Pretty much any organization where people come together, maybe not just for money reasons, but because they believe in something. And then there are syndicates, which are common interest groups for those who operate on the edges or outside of the law. Safety in numbers when you're moving contraband through a certain system or preying on hapless cargo ships. And then there's the organization title, which is pretty much a blank slate, making your way without any previous association. Leave it blank and build it from there.
That's really cool that they've got presets for that.
can I state like how I think we should run it? I mean, it's consideration. Yes, no, maybe so.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
I was thinking, going off a bit of Charles' idea with the kind of a militaristic thing. And we each have a chief and stuff, but we should have all one big leader. I'm John, excuse me. And I think we should have like certain squads for certain things. Like one for fighters, salvage, stuff like that.
Right. I mean, and a lot of this, depending on how we run it, say we want to run this like a business, like we are Omega Force Solutions. We solve your problems. Hire us. We'll get the job done. We're like that. We're going to need people. We're going to need, community relations. We're going to need marketing people, advertisement people, people who are good at all these things and run it like a business would be run.
User in your channel timed out.
Or say we're like some crazy cult that believes in some crazy thing.
We believe in the Vanu.
I don't know
We're gonna
about
have
that.
to
That sounds
structure
like some
ourselves like
Vanu
that.
shit there.
The cult of the terrorism.
Messaging your private terminal.
Well, also, I think it's important to bring up that it's not just. I believe, I could be wrong, but I do believe that there are bad AI, like aliens or something, that we will be having to deal with alongside of
Yes.
players.
The Vandal.
Private terminal.
The Vandal
Why
are
does-
the primary bad aliens. Pretty much kill anything that's not them. That's their mentality. So
Like
they
white
will be a problem.
supremacists.
Well, just
Sure.
basing the conversation off of organization. For those of you that don't know, hang on. Okay. For those of you that don't know, I ran a 200-man guild on Star Wars Galaxies before. On that game, it was a very, very heavy, what do you call it? Player interaction, player run economy, blah blah blah. It was everything was player run on there. The hell are you doing? Anyway, something, and the game Eve comes to mind when I'm thinking about this. I've never played Eve, but I followed some of the player run interactions and stories that have happened on there. The bigger we get, the more of a target that's going to grow on us.
Everyone hates
something-
the man.
Right, exactly. I do think Omega Force has a really good opportunity to become maybe not the biggest, but a major playing force in this game. So, that being said, we're going to have to protect ourselves, and we are going to have to trust each other implicitly. On Star Wars Galaxies, for example,
Messaging your private terminal.
the way I ran it was, I ran it as a militaristic organization, but my officers had the exact same rights and could do the exact same things to the guild that I could do. I didn't keep any power away from those guys at all. So, there may come a point where somebody might say, go to, Chad, and be like, hey, man, I know that you're a higher up in our guild or in this guild, blah blah blah. How about I slip you 20 million credits and you do something to get that guild, to destroy us, or flip the balance of power into our favor. Yeah, look at Lone Wolf deal. But we're gonna have to be able to trust each other on this. I've dealt with a lot of that stuff on Star Wars Galaxies. I can't tell you how many times. One of my officers would come to me and be like, hey, man, this guy just offered me a bribe to do this to us. You know what I mean? So we're going to have to really, really trust each other on this one.
Hitting our 2-year anniversary helps us with a lot of people that we can trust.
Absolutely. I mean, I can look at the channel right now, and there's probably 5 or 6 of you guys that I would trust with, a personal game account. Even like John, for example, I would trust him completely with, my credit card information. I know John wouldn't screw me over. I can't.
John, I'm your best friend.
Yeah, I can't say the same for. I can't say the same for Lone Wolf. I don't know if I could trust him or not. But
To be
What's
honest,
the number
can you
again?
trust me?
my credit card number's 185. Fuck yourself.
Okay.
Hold on, let me write that down.
All right.
Now, is that fuck capitalized or not?
And is that a visa?
It works either way. Trust, For Lone Wolf, it's capitalized.
You made me lose my train of thought.
I'm just gonna say, Jatrell, if someone offers me the bribe, I'm gonna take the bribe, then turn around and shoot him in the back.
Oh, that's perfect. You're trying to their headache.
Well, my own personal endeavor that I'm going to do on this game, I am going to put out a call right now for people interested in performing espionage for our group. Do not say right now if you want to do it. If you are interested in doing this, send me a personal message on the forum or on the website. I've done this a lot online. I've done this in games a lot. I know exactly what I'm doing, and I will train you how to do this stuff. This is not something that you can just say, oh, I'm good at this shit. No, you're not. I will train you how to do it, and I will train you exactly how to do it. You guys that do want to do this job, you will never, ever, ever do anything without my explicit say-so. This is not a job that you can do, and take matters into your own hands. On Star Wars Galaxies, for example, my guild infiltrated. I played Rebel Alliance, and my guild infiltrated all the major Imperial guilds on the server. At one point, I could have taken 3 cities away from Imperial guilds at one time because my guys that had infiltrated had raised up to the level of officer within those guilds. So this is my specialty. This is what I do, guys, and this is the type of game that this kind of stuff is going to thrive on, and we are going to be the target of this shit as well. So that's what I mean by trust.
Detrell's not putting himself on a high horse here, people. He knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, I'm really not. I mean, this shit's serious. I mean, if you guys, I'll try to find the link for you guys here in a little bit and put it up on the website for you. But there was an espionage incident on what's it called? EVE Online, and like the entire galaxy shifted power literally overnight because one guy infiltrated, rose up to the ranks of whatever the rank system was over there, and he was able to take over like the entire. There's like a bunch of military corporations over there. He was able to basically flip the entire balance of power and of the entire galaxy in one night. And it took him 8 or 9 months to fucking do this shit.
I heard about that. That fucker royally screwed over quite a few corporations.
Exactly, and that kind of shit can happen here. It's a nasty business, but that's all stuff that could actually happen on this game as well. And like I said, the bigger we get as a Megaforce, the bigger target we're going to get on our backs as well. So that's what I mean. We got to have organization. We got to have trust.
Go ahead. We also got to watch each other, make sure no one's fucking ourselves over. Lone Wolf.
Maybe
we don't need lone wolves.
If we do taking that on, I think maybe we should have that. Bring back the thing where you have to wait for a person to come to the website, allow it and stuff.
No, I don't ever want to get this to the point where we are preventing people from joining Omega Force. I will have you have the ability right now. You can create groups on the website. We will have a special group on the website for Star Citizen that's invite only for people with us who play Star Citizen. I don't want to. I want to get away from that. We've been trying to get away from that, kicking people out of Omega Force for things that they do in game that's not breaking the rules of the game. We're about here having fun. We may take Star Citizen very seriously, but we're here to have fun.
When you say the game, it's only rules of the games or rules of the entire game community?
Rules of the game community and rules of the game. Obviously no cheaters, but I mean people getting kicked out for not breaking core rules of the community. So we'll have its own section of forums that are invite only. People who play Star Citizen with us. Only people who play Star Citizen with us will have access to. People can be removed from that at any time. I don't want to kick people out of Omega Force. People are still free to play with us. I don't ever want to take it to the level, hey, they fucked up in game. They don't deserve to play on a TeamSpeak anymore. That's taking things a little too far. That's we don't. There's no need for that. People can still have fun. obviously, they'll be known that we can't take them, really trust them in the game at that time. But we won't kick them out of Omega Force. They just won't have access to the sensitive information anymore, or any information about the group anymore.
Well,
So
the way we
we
can settle,
have
the way we can
fail
settle,
safes to deal with.
Okay.
I like where John's going with this, and the way we can decide on this shit is probably do a tribunal style case against them. If we have facts that are proving that someone is pretty much stabbing us in the back on a game, we present it to whoever's in charge of that group. And then they make the decisions.
Yeah.
Well, I think in that instance, I think a Megaforce Council itself would get together and be like, "Look, this guy's too big of a problem," or whatever. I mean, we've had to do that before in the past several times with players that have committed crimes on different games and such like that. And myself personally, I have a big problem with DayZ. I hate it just simply because it breeds trash. The majority of you guys know that.
I
You guys
playing all together after Steve.
Yeah, I mean, the majority of you guys that have been here for a long time, you guys know my hatred of DayZ and why. I don't need to drop the names of people why. We've had a few people in plant side that have caused problems, i.e. King Globatrox. What a fucking tool he was.
He doesn't,
You still remember that shit?
Does he even deserve to be mentioned or no?
Wait.
No.
He's the guy that basically, like, I yelled at him one night because he wasn't following orders, and he said he was going to slash his wrist and throw himself off the roof, and the very next day he was posting on the website. Yeah, he was epic.
The doctor said if I fell a little harder, I wouldn't have made it.
Oh,
Yeah.
what was that? I forgot his name. Pinky.
Something like that.
Get back on top of that.
Let's stay on topic here, guys. We don't need to talk about all the people who got
Yeah, let's bad mouth
started
There's
trouble.
been a few people who didn't deserve to be left. I mean,
Yeah, that John guy. Oh, so annoying.
Yeah, trust me, John Johnson's going to go very soon.
But basically, what I'm trying to say
What about that
here
Tristan person? He's been a royalty.
is that no
Yeah.
matter
No one
what
has.
happens, no matter what happens in Star Citizen, if the worst were to happen, Detrell's espionage, counterintelligence somehow fails, and our whole organization in Star Citizen gets ruined. Worst case scenario, that will never, ever lead to the complete collapse of Omega Force as a whole. Omega Force will continue to exist. The Star Citizen organization may completely fail. That would suck really bad. But Omega Force would not disappear because of this.
Yeah.
It'll just restructure and rebuild itself.
Because
The whole Omega Force
most-
will never disappear because
most-
the way we segment this. The games are
most of-
separate from the community. I'm sorry, Meg.
that's okay, man. Most of the Omega Force members are trying to build a computer to run Star Citizen, so they're gonna waste their time, money, and time making that just to be shitty on Star Citizen. I don't think they're gonna do it. So I think I trust for everybody that's going to join Star Citizen with Omega Force, because it's a good game and it requires a lot of money to get a new good computer to run it. And even though the joysticks and all that. So I don't think we're gonna have like shitty players like we did before. So
Yeah, I mean, Star Citizen, it's definitely one of those games, that, yeah, I mean, Meg just said it right. People are going to sink real money into this shit. Some people already have. I know John's already gotten a couple of things for it. So, yeah, I mean, the espionage team is going to be absolutely essential, for our success on here. And I will be taking that extremely seriously. I will scream at you. I will cuss you. You may not survive or pass the training that I put you through, because it's extremely serious, guys. And, this is people's real life money that we're fucking with here, and this is, Omega Force's reputation that we're playing with here on this game. There's already 750,000 people that have donated on this game. And, so to speak, we're going to be on stage, so to speak, as far as our reputation as Omega Force as a whole. Can we be, are we going to be a PMC and we're going to be counted upon? Are we going to be able to be counted on to, hold up our end of the bargain as far as like we're going to, take this contract to protect this planet, blah blah blah. That's our whole reputation right there. The same thing on the flip side. Are we the assholes you don't want to deal with? We're a big crime syndicate. If we'd all decide to go like a criminal organization, it's all about reputation on games like this. I hate that some of you guys didn't get to play Star Wars Galaxies, but that was a really good precursor to this game where everything's player run. The economy, the reputation for the guilds, all that stuff. It was all there on Galaxies. This game's going to be taking it to a whole new level. So, this is something I'm going to take very, very seriously. I live in when I ran a Galaxies guild, man, I lived in a bottle of Excedrin headache medicine for a year. I had a headache every single day. I mean, literally, it was terrible. But, it was something you had to take seriously. And, with people dumping real life money into this is a no-fail situation for us. And that's exactly how I'm looking at this. But I need people for the espionage team in particular. I need people that are, espionage. You guys are going to have to spend a lot of time away from your guild. You guys are going to have to spend a lot of time away from us. You're going to have to become friendly with other guilds, hang out in their TeamSpeaks or Ventrilo servers, whatever they have. You're going to have to you're going to have to spend a lot of time away from us to get, ranked up and get high in another guild. So, it's not for everybody, but it's absolutely essential. This kind of stuff is absolutely necessary. So, don't, before you message me on the website and say you want to do this, really think about it. I can't stress how serious and how structured it's going to be, because, like Mig said, people are dumping their real money into this shit. I'm probably going to put some real money into it myself and buy myself a ship when my tax return gets here. I don't want to fail and lose that.
So, quick question: is this like one purchase you get it for life, or is it a monthly purchase?
The game, you mean?
Yeah.
Star Citizen, if you own a game package, you own the game for life. There's no subscription fee.
Real quick, guys, I'm gonna have to head off for now. Hopefully, I'll be back soon-ish, but carry on.
Bye, Shane.
User disconnected from your channel.
Does anybody else have anything they want to say about it, or have any ideas they want to throw out?
I have an idea of what we could be in Omega in Star Citizen.
Sure.
Instead of having all these discussions be like good guys, bad guys, why don't we just be intergalactic garbage men and take out the trash and earn good, solid, or honest livings?
It's completely possible.
Let's do that.
So basically, be like
That sounds
bounty
awesome.
hunters.
No, clean up the wreckage.
No,
Literally.
literally be garbage men.
Yeah.
Literally take out trash.
Salvage and
It's completely
bounties.
possible. There's the
No,
I
bounties.
like the salvage.
Just
I like the salvage idea.
Aegis
we roll in
Dynamics,
after battles, we get
Aegis
the
Dynamics
recycling.
Reclaimer.
We
Salvage
walk
ship.
I'm
down
really thinking freaking.
we walk
yes.
down Main Street, we pick up some bottles, and we turn it in for 10 cents. It's great.
Or we could go
Like,
out
I
and
really like
clean
the
up the
idea of
battlefield.
salvage
We're gonna
and
be need
bounty
to pick up a
hunting
lot of
because they
bottles.
work hand in hand. So people that really want to do the combat part are able to go bounty hunting, while the people who are more into the economy and stuff can go and salvage stuff. So they're constantly making money for the
basically what I'm
guild that
trying to
way,
do.
building us up.
Right. Like I with the amount of people that we've got right now, I feel confident that we could focus on a particular task, or maybe even two things focusing on, and have people and be able to protect ourselves while doing it. I fully think that's possible from the very beginning, that we can focus on something. We'll have the resources to make money, either mining or collecting fuel or transports, and be able to protect those assets without, having to rent help from outside forces.
I just want to say real quick, I don't know if this company is a nationwide company, but the company called Waste Management, they basically control the garbage trucks. They have an annual revenue of $13.99 billion. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And if the garbage man thing doesn't work out, we can be paper boys.
It all depends.
No,
I
no.
prefer the mic.
I've got it, man. Bread Row, we will be the company that goes around and empties out the porta potties.
I literally
What? So we're gonna empty out like nuclear reactors or something?
no porta potties.
Well, no, what we're gonna do is
Portalets, man.
we're gonna get
God.
the big fuel ships that they use to like transport all the like fuel for engines and
They're
stuff.
gonna be tankers.
But we're gonna just collect like the poop instead of actual fuel. Like we'd have all the supplies to collect fuel and make so much more money. But we're gonna collect the poop.
Let's
We're gonna
all do the job that we all would hate in real life, and we'll do it in this game. And have fun.
Guys, no,
Hey, we'll
guys.
rename ourselves the Honey Wagons.
The honey wagons. Guys, can we be moisture farmers?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Someone
good.
shoot him now.
Okay.
If you guys don't know, the Honey Wagon is the trucker call sign for a septic tank truck. So there you go.
And that's your fun fact for the day.
Exactly.
Or how about we just be a milk cow and just freaking transport fuel to both sides?
Both sides. What are the two sides?
Whatever two factions are fighting each other. And again, that could be. Yeah,
Well, I
really
think
Like
could-
two other organizations.
yeah. Like, say they're in the middle of a battlefield and they need fuel.
No one ever broke.
Yeah, well, in real life, like that may work in like something maybe like PlanetSide, how Nanite Systems runs things. But like in real life, if you're like you're supplying things to a certain side, and then you walk across the border and start giving them to the other side,
Well, you're
tend
not allowed
not
to
to
let
like
them
you.
know. You can't let them know that you're selling to both sides, but it's okay if you do it. You make
No,
it-
That's why- that's why
companies
you have
build
to
it-
keep secret.
So we'd have to
Doing it.
change the organization name every time we go to each
No,
side.
no, no. You
No, we
have,
just have two organizations.
no,
Oh,
you have
God.
two branches of the same organization. And they just have different names. Boom, boom.
All I really know is I made a new PC.
Well, guys, I want to go ahead and call this meeting because it's 8 o'clock, and I know that I think we're all wanting to do a game game event. So, again, if you guys have more ideas or options, make sure you post them on the website. A lot of you guys don't use the website enough, so please do. I mean, that's like your voice. I'm not on here every day. John's not on every day. We all both have jobs. John's got to go to school, stuff like that. So voice your opinion on the website. Get on there and say, hey, I had this awesome idea. And I really agree with John, and I think everybody else is in pretty much in agreement with this. Let's pick one or two things, stick with it till we get a good reputation, a good name going for ourselves, and we can take it from there. And like I said, after that, once we're established, you guys can go bounty hunter, go pirating, or whatever you all want to do.
For mining.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
mining,
need a lot
whatever.
of training for piloting ships as a group.
Yeah, we pretty much need like an official squadron for pirating and shit.
All stuff to be worked on. There's a lot of ways we can train combat and in space flight, but the only real way, the best way to really train for it is to
Play Pong.
actually play. No, requires you to spend money, but I mean you're gonna have to end up spending money anyway if you want to play this game.
User in your channel
is to
timed out.
fly an arena commander and mess around in that. But yeah, it's all a lot of work's got to be done. As things grow, maybe eventually we get big enough and we buy a fleet owned a warship or something. We're gonna have to come up with plans and whatnot, to repel borders. We'll have to designate firing corridors and whatnot. The best way, because on a warship, the most important thing is to protect the bridge. That's the most important thing ever. It's better that your ship
And the
gets
bathroom.
destroyed and the bathroom. It is a better situation that your ship gets destroyed than it falling into the hands of the enemy. So we'll have to do training like that. All different. As we expand, we'll have to train and practice on all different things.
So what type of ships are we looking at to people that want to get into this game?
What do you mean?
Like,
Que fue, bebé, abre la puerta.
There's some wooden ones. There's a couple of freight ships.
Well, your ship is going to be like, we're not going to tell you exactly what kind of ship to buy, dude. I mean, you can get, like, if you want to pre-order something now, get what you want. That being said, every single ship that's for sale right now on the website, you're going to be able to obtain that with in-game currency after the game releases. So you don't have to feel compelled to say drop $150 on a Javelin destroyer capital ship right now. You'll be able to get one in game.
But if you do that, you're like a better man than all of us.
I was about to say $150. Damn, that's pretty.
No, a javelin is $2,500.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
You know
gonna
what?
say it's a hell of a lot more than that.
I mean, Terrell, you want to kick out that money?
Yeah.
I think I'd be divorced if I did that.
I mean, cool beans. You have the approval here. It's up to you.
Like right now, I have a horn and a muscle.
What about
every ship is obtainable in-game currency. You don't have to spend anything. That being said, chances are most people won't be able to save up enough money on their own to buy a carrier, more than likely, without any help. So chances are, a lot of, because pretty much how we'll be able to run this is like, there's different ways of managing the money for the outfit. Like we can choose to set up the outfit that, for example, that when you do a job, all the money that's earned from the job goes into the fleet bank, and then we pay out wages to all the members. We can run it like that, or you can run it that everyone does their job, they earn their money, and a tax is automatically taken from their paycheck and put into the fleet bank. We can do it either way. So that's another thing that we'll have to figure out in the future.
Every bounty or job you do gets deducted from.
Yes, and we're going to have to do something like that if we want to get anywhere, because eventually, we're going to need to buy assets that are, owned by the organization, not a certain player, that everyone, has a say in order to get things done. Because chances are, one person alone isn't going to be able to make enough money to buy, something, a massive ship or whatnot that the fleet needs. It'll go into the fleet bank. Eventually, we'll be able to get that massive mining ship that we need to mine those asteroids. Or if we're going military, we get that escort carrier, whatever.
That's the way a lot of Eve guilds
Or that
do it.
battleship.
Like when they buy Titans and stuff, it's by doing a
Yeah, and again, this is where the trust comes in. I mean, I don't know if you have like a finance minister, so to speak, for a guild, but you got to be careful who's got their hands in the money, and also it's like we got to make sure that we give that ship to somebody that we trust implicitly. Like say Breadrow, for example.
Oh, don't give me anything.
I'm just going to say, I'm just using you as an example. It's like if we give you that ship, next week, are you going to defect and go to another guild, and then everybody that's worked hard to get that ship for you loses out. We're not going to be able to utilize that. I'm just using you as an example, man.
I love you.
I know. I'm just using the example.
Toilet paper.
I'll sell the ship with toilet paper.
See?
Yeah, don't talk about toilet paper. Need to go to bed right now.
One thing that I need everyone to be aware of, because this is a high priority for Omega Force. No matter whether we are inside the law or outside the law,
I know where this is going.
There's a giant military carrier, and it has my name written all over it.
That will
And
come
I am
in
asking
time.
all of you, we need to steal that at any cost.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I
what-
give my life for that cause.
What's it going to have? Like a fucking regiment of troops on it? I mean, come on.
They'll probably be able to carry
But once
it.
you're
It actually has
we get that
the
regiment of
population
troops.
New England's sheep on it.
Just think about
What,
it.
you
Someone's
want
like,
to strand it in the middle of like space or something?
No,
where
no,
you can't
we-
resupply?
no, we take it. Because then, like, think about it. Someone just like, hey, Omega Force, we need you to defend us. And we just show up in a giant-ass carrier, just like, what's up, what's good, what do you need? Like, no.
An empty carrier.
Yeah, an empty carrier crewed by like 12 guys. What's up?
Yeah.
got one dropship with 5 guys. in
The
it. Let's go.
SS crew here to serve.
They don't need to know that.
We'll put
Have
our
a feeling
feeling
whoever
the gun
starts out
shooting
big
automatically.
will be able to click
SS
fast.
skeleton crew, why are you
Like if you
functioning
guys
so
haven't
poorly?
seen the video of this ship, it's got a mouth
Oh yeah, I've seen the video of that ship.
on both ends.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like a human centipede kind of thing.
Oh, you're talking about the ship that they showed in the trailer?
Yeah, that thing.
You
I
realize
get that.
that thing had like 10 fighters sitting in the hangar bay.
And
The
probably
Bengal
who
class
knows-
can carry, I think, 75 small fighters.
Yeah,
So
which
small.
is about, what, 12 squadrons?
Yeah,
Or it can,
something
it
like
can
that.
fit pretty much whatever you can fit in it.
Guys, I think what we really need is tactics and get the Death Star, boom, bada bing, we win.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest
I like
either the
Rachel's
Death Star
theory.
or like a Super Star Destroyer, something like that.
New Imperial March.
Well, yeah, it's a lot. It's you know, we're like window shopping right now for all the ships that we want to get, but you know, this is all come in time as things work out. We're gonna get the
important
ships that we need to get. We're not gonna just buy ships because they look cool.
The important question about those ships is, do they come in midnight blue?
Of course, you'll be able to paint them.
Yep.
Oh, and
Wait,
Kind of green.
why Midnight Blue? I must know this.
Camouflage. Duh.
Wouldn't you paint it black?
Have you been in space? Is it black? No, you haven't been there. Boom.
Yeah, I'm sure people's scanners won't pick up that massive kilometer-long cross-section or anything.
What's that? There's something on their sensors. It's
I don't see it with my eyes. It must not be there.
You should all come to Planet Psi and make the event here. Raise some housing.
That'll work.
Oh, and just know, if there's ever a dirty sock on the handle of my cargo bay, just don't go in there. There's probably people in there.
There's probably a lot of dirty laundry, and there's gonna be a lot of noises coming from the laundry.
Lone
so
wolf.
I like to beat the laundry.
Lone Wolf for the lower gap.
Special.
And if you guys wouldn't tell the laundry
You
was
might
its
hear
victims.
explosions.
It's very special.
I'm just excited because I hear these shipping with bathrooms with doors that close. So I'm excited for my tea time.
In beds and everything. Working kitchens. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can actually sit on the toilets in the game too.
I'm so excited. Whoever is working the kitchens is going to be my best friend.
We never have to ask where's bread row. I mean, we're gonna know.
I'll be
Rick,
in
okay, now shit peacefully. Now that there's
I'll be in the kitchen, I'll be eating my
toilet.
meals, and I'll be just shitting my ass off.
Bradro, I'm recruiting you right now. You're my redeemer at all times.
Just in the toilet, just locked in.
It's just a call breaker button. It's just a bell down in the bathroom.
What you guys don't actually know is I'm not going to be with any of you. I'm actually a divorce lawyer in Star Citizen, so you guys do all the fun stuff. I got paperwork.
No wonder you spent so much time in the chair.
Fucking divorce lawyer.
At least you're hanging out at time.
Yeah, Cole Bean said you read too many romance novels on the throne and DayZ, man. Now you want to be a divorce lawyer.
Yeah.
I'm actually a novel writer. I write those stories.
You spent enough time in the bathroom. You got enough time to write, I guess.
Exactly.
I was thinking I could just be like the salvager, and if I'm called upon, I can just be my native meat shield self. Hello, I am just a lonely scavenger passing through the Who touched me?
Also, if there's multiple decks on the carrier, don't go to the armory on deck 5. You might hear explosions there.
That would be
The
Tristan's.
armory wouldn't
That
be
would be
exploding.
Tristan's armory.
I foresee us getting this carrier
it's-
and not
it's
knowing how to fly
the,
it and just crashing it immediately.
First person shooter system coming. I think it's coming on this spring break.
This March. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if we will be able to play as a group there, but we should try that.
Is it called the Bengal class carrier?
Yes. John, did you ever build the DQB stuff on Arm 3 yet?
No, I told you I'm having some issues because
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Because
You're right.
There's no 3D editor yet, and there's no way to, like in Arma 2, like the control key doesn't work. You can't, like, everything's on ground level no matter what. And it's like, I don't know, hard to do. And plus there's not really a lot of good materials to work with. Like the only things I could really use to build like quarters and whatnot are like hollow, opened out metal cargo containers.
Hell, if you want to, do it on Arma 2 then. We've all got that.
Yeah, I might be able to do that.
Okay, hey, Tristan. Well, everyone. I have the armaments of the Bengal class right here. One.
What's it?
very
I can't hear you from the Titanfall channel.
Shut up. 130 millimeter ship buster railgun, 18 ASD ship-to-ship turrets with dual ion cannons, 40 max octane turrets with dual heavy-duty laser cannons, 16 KW rolling space frames with 21 missiles each, and 4 Talon minesweepers capable of firing HE, EMP, web, nuclear, and antimatter.
The minesweepers, I imagine them just playing Minesweeper at their computers.
Damn, too bad it's not solitaire.
Hey, don't tell them my secret.
Yeah, that's like what, like 100 different turrets
yet.
that all need to be manned?
No, that's just the armament. There's defenses too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh god.
We don't really have the people to run a Bengal right now.
Guns.
Laser Gatling guns.
14 Phoenix class shield generators and 6 HT 2000 burst shield generators.
The thing is, we need guys to man
God.
all those and keep them repaired.
Right, a Bengal right now, day one, not practical, guys. Sorry.
Absolutely practical.
We'll have the most skeleton of skeleton crews.
We will have a garage sale to raise funds, maybe a fake sale, and we'll get it.
There's a lot of...
Car wash. My friend just reminded me. We'll have a car wash. I look great in a bikini. We'll do that.
Range unlimited, 20 plus years.
What?
What happened?
That's how long the core lasts before it expires.
Is that 20 in-game years or real life years?
Real life years.
That is sad.
Jesus
In-game
Christ.
In-game
That is
years.
sad.
The game is
In-game
freaking
years?
going to be 1-to-1 ratio, isn't it? On
I
daytime,
think
from what
so.
they said.
Maybe not.
Odds are you'll be only seeing me like maybe twice before I have to leave, and then I'll be back in October.
Odds are, if we get that ship, I'm going to get lost in it.
All right, Navy
So
Land.
many
I think we just play on a frigate first.
There's a Pegasus class
Yeah, let's go with
escort
the
carrier. I
frigate.
want to see that.
That thing's awesome.
Besides, the frigate has a
Wow, that
massive
thing looks
gun on the bottom. I
cool.
want to shoot.
It's got no armaments, just a bunch
That's
of
the only reason you want
spacecraft.
it, Chad? You want to shoot the big gun?
I want the real
Yeah,
gun.
that's the only reason. I mean, I
Okay,
want
that's
the
a valid
freaking
reason.
reclaimer for nothing more than to try and grab some ship with the arm.
That's a valid reason. I'll give you that.
Why do you get to claim the big gun? I want the big gun, dang it.
Hey, I had the big gun first.
I want whatever fires the
You go
fastest.
back to Titanfall, damn it.
Shut up.
I would offend. Titanfall's a fantastic game, and you got to come through me to make fun of Landshark.
Yeah. Tell him, Brazo.
I
Hey,
give free access
I wasn't
to
making fun of
making
Titanfall.
fun of
I was
Landshark.
just telling him to get back down there.
Go ahead.
Titanfall,
Hey, to
I will
be
admit, is a
honest,
good game.
Lone Wolf, when I get out of the Navy, out of boot camp, I'm gonna be making $1,500 every half a month, and that's more than what you make.
Guys, this meeting has gone way off schedule. Let's recap. We're playing Star Citizen.
Game event, come on.
And we're all
I
going to be
can't play
dentists.
game event. I have homework to do.
Alright.
No, hold up here, guys.
What are we playing?
We just have a wheel of what we're gonna play.
Oh,
Well, what
before
you
we
do.
do anything, I'm gonna get ready.
Titanfall.
And get ready because I don't know if
You
you
gotta
knew.
solve it.
Look next to my name, but I'm giving away an Aurora tonight. Yay!
Am I on the list?
Whoever,
Cheetos everywhere.
here's how this is gonna work.
What's an Aurora?
Just because I'm not doing this just to give away an Aurora spaceship for no reason. I'm doing this because I want as many of you guys to be able to play Star Citizen with us as possible. So whoever right now that does not already own a Star Citizen game package, who does not own a game of Star Citizen. Anyone who doesn't is eligible. Anyone else, sorry, you already have Star Citizen. I want this to go to someone who doesn't have it yet. So that's how it's going to work. So I'm going to enter this into a, kind of random number generator thing, and it'll randomly pick someone, and you get a game. Hey.
I hope you play it.